After a fun weekend trip to Dallas, spent hanging out with family and visiting local aviation museums like the Frontiers of Flight Museum and American Airlines C.R. Smith Museum, it came time to make the journey back home from the Lone Star State. On today's flight, we will be reviewing American Airlines Boeing 737-800. Without further ado, my name is Columbus Aviation. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning from an abnormally cold Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, here at the Rental Car Center, where I wait for the shuttle to the C terminal. I had a small issue with a gate swap, where I nearly got on the wrong shuttle just after the gate was changed, and ended up moving to the C sign. It did not take too long for the shuttle to arrive and drop me off at the C terminal, where I quickly found my way onto an escalator to the main departures level. I was already checked in online and I didn't have any luggage to check, so I immediately made my way to the TSA pre-check line, which was actually longer than the standard TSA line. Either way, it only took about 5 minutes to get through. This area of the airside of Terminal C at DFW is quite outdated. However, just a little ways down the hall, it looks modern and beautiful, honestly. There were quite a few shops and food options. Mind you, this is one side of the terminal. There are even more amenities on the other side. After a short walk, I arrived at an empty gate C36, where my flight was scheduled to depart from at 3:35 p.m. Central. Unfortunately, 3:35 came and went quickly, without an aircraft or any word from the gate agent on a delay. Around 10 minutes after the scheduled departure time, November 960 November, taxied in from the runway, inbound from Chicago. It wasn't until after the 10-year-old Boeing 737-800 began unloading passengers that a delay was even announced, even though we were 15 minutes past the original departure time. Another 5 minutes passed, and boarding was called for American Flight 3021, nonstop to Columbus. I made my way back to my seat in row 10, seat F. After almost no time, we began pushing back. Enjoy a commentary-free pushback and startup out of gate C36.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can just have attention please in just a few moments for some safety information about our flight. Your attention please to the flight attendant. Welcome to your American Airlines flight. Located in marked ceiling compartments. All exits are clearly marked with signs and opening instructions.
Just like that, we were on our way out, taxiing to runway 17 right.
To guide you to an exit indicated by signs and lights in the event of an emergency.
Just before takeoff, I accidentally dropped a credit card and I pressed the flight attendant call button. Shortly after we leveled off, a flight attendant came to my seat. I explained the situation, and honestly, she was rude and quite unhelpful. This was my only really negative experience with the crew on this flight because the flight attendants during the service were very funny and kind. Luckily, I asked the person behind me if he could see the card, and he found it on the floor and returned it to me. As I previously mentioned, the two flight attendants in charge of the in-flight service couldn't have been nicer. On shorter domestic flights on American, you get a choice of drink and Biscoff. Obviously, I took Canada Dry, the best drink for flights. I would say something about American not serving better food, but this was a flight less than 2 hours long, so I'd say that this was a completely acceptable service. In the literature pocket, there was a menu for longer flights, safety card, and waist bag. You can also see the device holder, which I opted not to use for this flight as it kept slipping onto the side buttons of my phone and messing with the volume. I should also mention that each seat had a USB port and there was universal power between each seat, which I forgot to feature in my initial recordings. After the service, the rest of the flight was quite uneventful, other than the sunset, which was very pretty. Approaching Columbus, we came in from the southwest and flew parallel to runway 10 right past the city, before turning 180 degrees onto final for runway 28 left.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off, and keep the aisles clear of all carry-on items.
Welcome to the B concourse of John Glenn Columbus International Airport, where we arrived into gate B21, the gate I departed from in the original trip report, which was my first video. Even though we departed late, we got in about 10 minutes early, which was very nice. As an Ohioan, I obviously went home to watch the national championship, where the Buckeyes went on to beat Notre Dame 34-23. In the end, I'd have some words to say about American Airlines. I feel like AA is truly a mixed bag when it comes to service. The gate agent in Dallas gave practically zero information about the delay, and the one flight attendant was very rude to me about the card. The Wi Fi was priced at $24, that being US dollars, for just a 1 hour and 45-minute flight. Personally, I'd say American is just disappointing. I wouldn't tell anyone to stay away from them at all costs, but I'd highly recommend that if you are booking with a full service carrier, you should book with Delta or United instead. American is almost, in my opinion, like a reskinned low cost carrier with the road they've gone down in recent years. After everything, the flight wasn't bad by any means. It was a decently simple journey from Dallas back home and arrived on time, which is all I need to call a flight good enough. If I were to give American 3021 a rating, I would give it a simple 3 stars. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and check out some of my other content. Go Bucks, Columbus Aviation, signing out.